Okay, we've got a circle given by the equation x squared plus y squared is 4. P is a point on that circle with these coordinates, and we have to find the equation of the tangent to the circle at the point P. Okay, now this equation here, that's in the general form for the equation of a circle, which you need to know, and that's x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. So 4 is 2 squared, so therefore the radius of this circle is 2. So let's draw it. Okay, so not bad. Okay, so we've got some point P on this circle. We know the radius is 2, so that's 2. The x-coordinate of P is 3 over 2. The y-coordinate of P is root 7 on 2. Root 7 over 2. Okay, now the tangent at P is going to look something like that. Okay, and we have to find the equation of that line there. Right, so to find the equation of a line, you need the gradient of the line. And we can find the gradient of the tangent if we know the gradient of this radius. I'll call it this radius line, okay? Because the tangent to a circle is always at 90 degrees to the radius of that circle, where the radius, touches the tangent, where they meet at that point there. And if you know the gradient of a line, then you immediately know the gradient of another line perpendicular to it, because it's the negative inverse of the first line's gradient. In fact, any two lines that cross at 90 degrees, okay, like these two, if you know the gradient of one, the gradient of the other is always a negative inverse. Okay, so we can find the gradient of our target, the tangent, if you know the gradient of the radius. And we can easily work out the gradient of the radius is rise over run because we have the coordinates. So, gradient of the radius, shall I put that inverted the radius line, okay? That's why I put it inverted commas, okay? So, is rise over run. Now the rise is from 0 to the y-coordinate, which is root 7 over 2, divided by the run from 0 to x-coordinate is 3 over 2. Okay. Fractions, dividing, turn that into a multiplication and flip the second one. So that becomes root 7 over 2 times 2 over 3. 2's cancel and you get root 7 over 3. Okay, so we know the gradient of the radius. So like I said, we therefore immediately know the gradient of the tangent. Equation of the tangent. Let's call this tangent, just give it a name. Let's call it the line Q. Okay? Okay, therefore the gradient of Q is minus 1 over gradient of the radius, minus 1 over root 7 over 3. Okay? Which is minus 3 over root 7. Okay, good. We've got the gradient of Q, the line we want. Right. So now, how do we get the whole equation of Q? Well, there are two forms of the equation of a straight line you need to know. Okay. Y equals mx plus c is one of them. Okay, you need to know that. Where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept, so that point there would be c, where it crosses the y-axis. Yep. Okay, but there's another version which in this case is more useful, and it's this. It's y minus y1 is equal to m, the gradient, same m, times x minus x1, okay? Where the point x1, y1 is any point on the line, okay? So this is often more useful than this one because this equation restricts you to the point on the line where it crosses the y-axis. But this one is great because you're not restricted to that particular point. The point x1, y1 is any point on the line. And we know the coordinates of any point on the line. This point at P, we've got the coordinates. Okay, so we just stick them in and we get the answer. So that's why we're going to use this version. We've already worked out m, it's that. So let's put in the numbers. Right, y minus, right, y1 is the y coordinate to the point P, which is root 7 over 2. Root 7 over 2 equals a gradient minus 3 over root 7 times x minus, and the x coordinate of our point is 3 over 2. Okay, good. We've pretty much done it. We've just got to rearrange that to make it look nice. We're actually going to put it in this form. Okay, you should leave your answer in this form. Okay, y equals mx plus c when you're asked for the equation of a straight line. Okay, so let's multiply this out. So we get y minus root 7 over 2 equals minus 3 over root 7x. Minus times minus is a plus. 3 times 3 is 9, 2 root 7. Okay. Take the minus root 7 over 2 over there, and we get y equals minus 3 over root 7x plus 9 over 2 root 7 plus root 7 over 2. Okay. Right, these are two numbers, so we've got to add those together, which means we need the same denominator. So let's multiply top and bottom of this by root 7, root 7, root 7. Okay, so we get y equals minus 3 over root 7x. Root 7 times root 7 is 7, so 7 plus 9 is 16 over 2 root 7. So y equals minus 3 over root 7x. 16 divided by 2 is 8 plus 8 over root 7. Finished. There we go. So, what do you need to know to answer these sort of questions? You need to know that when two lines are at right angles, the gradient of one is the negative inverse of the gradient of the other. You need to know that the radius of a circle, where that touches the circle, the tangent of that point, that they are at right angles. You need to know the two forms of the equation of a straight line. Those are the same equation, just in different forms. Okay? And you need to know the form of the equation for a circle. And if you know all that stuff, it's not too bad. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button, and it would be a massive help if you could subscribe. It would also be amazing if you could support me on Patreon. All the papers and everything are on my website, drjem.com, and I'm also on social media. Thank you.